Alright, Shalom. First of all, I'm just going to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on Storm Amy that hit the UK. So, through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. Storm Amy has swept into the UK, bringing heavy rain and strong winds to large parts of the country. A gust of 96 miles per hour was recorded overnight in the Inner Hebrides. An amber wind warning remains in place for parts of northern Scotland, and the Met Office is warning of power cuts and flying debris that could endanger life. A lower level yellow warning for winds has been issued for the rest of the UK until Saturday evening. A man in his 40s died in the Republic of Ireland on Friday in what police described as a weather-related incident. Parts of Northern Ireland were under an amber wind warning earlier on Friday, and hundreds of schools closed early as a precaution. In Scotland, Scottish and Southern Electricity Networks said it was working to reconnect 62,000 customers on Saturday morning. Around 22,000 properties remain without power in Northern Ireland, and just over 300 homes had lost power in Wales. SP Electricity Northwest said it was working to restore power to just over 1,000 properties across Cumbria after a very blustery night. On Friday night, a gust of 96 miles per hour was recorded in Tiree in the Inner Hebrides, while Northern Ireland recorded its highest October gust on record with 92 miles per hour at Magilligan County, Londonderry. Storm Amy is currently moving away from northern Scotland, taking the most powerful winds with it. However, a Met Office amber warning will remain in place across northern Scotland until 2100 BST on Saturday. Gusts of 60 to 70 miles per hour are forecast, with occasional gusts of up to 85 miles per hour also possible, so some damage and disruption is still likely throughout Saturday. Elsewhere across the UK, yellow warnings for wind are in force until 1900, where wind gusts will widely be up to 45 to 55 miles per hour, occasionally up to 65 miles per hour in more exposed areas. Even these wind speeds have the potential to bring down tree debris and possibly whole trees, leading to power cuts and travel disruption. All 8 of London's royal parks are closed on Saturday, and opening times on Sunday will be delayed due to safety inspections. A statement on the Royal Parks website said the safety of visitors and staff is our top priority. Heavy rain will continue at times across northern and western Scotland, while a band of heavy rain moves south across England and Wales. This will weaken, followed by sunny spells and blustery heavy showers. Storm Amy also set a new record for the deepest area of low pressure in the UK for October. The Earth's atmosphere exerts pressure on the surface and is measured in hectopascals, also called millibars. Storm Amy showed central pressure of 947.9 HPa at Balta Sound, Shetland. This exceeds the previous record of 950.9 0.9 HPA in 1988. In an area of low pressure, the weather is often unsettled. The police service of Northern Ireland said the rail network was suspended on Friday due to multiple trees falling, while airports warned passengers to check the status of their flight before flying. Several ScotRail services and ferries were canceled ahead of the storm's arrival, while some bridges will be closed to high-sided vehicles. On Saturday morning, ScotRail said around 80 trees had been brought down on lines, and engineers were checking routes before resuming services. All services out of Glasgow Central have been suspended until at least 1400 on Saturday. By Sunday, Storm Amy will have moved further out into the North Sea, so it will be drier with lighter winds for the second half of the weekend. The next storm will be Bram. A new list of names is issued every year by the Met Office before the season starts in September, with both male and female names chosen by the public. Storms can be named by either the Met Office, Met Ariane, or the Dutch Weather Service, KNMI, when impacts are forecast to be medium to high. Yeah, so the Lord is pouring out his wrath upon the UK and Scotland and Ireland. Psalm 79:6. Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. And that's exactly what the Heavenly Father is doing. He's pouring out his wrath via his storms. The rain, the powerful winds. This is the wrath of the Lord right there. And they said in the article that one person already died as a result. Job 4:7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And the answer is that nobody has ever perished being innocent. So that one person who died as a result of that storm, that person was not innocent in the eyes of the Lord. That's why the Lord had them get caught up in that storm, and now they're in the spirit world. Verse 8, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And that's what happens when people get judged, when they get caught up in these storms and tempests, when they get caught up in these fires and these earthquakes, in shootings and stabbings and deadly car crashes, and deadly animal attacks. That's them reaping what they've sown. Because like it says in Psalm 7:11, Yahweh judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. And that's why every day heavy judgments are brought upon people, whether they be men, women, or children. Because like it says in Romans 2:11, there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. And right now, parts of the UK, parts of Scotland, and parts of Ireland getting hit with powerful storms. A lot of rain, a lot of wind, flooding, power outages, a lot of travel disruptions, trees all over the place that have fallen onto, railway lines and onto people's cars and into the roads. So there's a lot of destruction that has taken place. Isaiah 28:2, behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which has a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And the Lord has sent a destroying storm through parts of the UK, parts of Scotland, and parts of Ireland. Just swept through, caused some destruction, killed one person. Psalms 11:6, upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and an horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. And when you look up the definition of tempest, it means a violent windy storm. And that's basically what the Lord hit, the UK and those other places with. A violent windy storm caused a lot of destruction, caused a lot of disruptions. One person died. And that, in a nutshell, is the judgment of the Heavenly Father. But, wicked, simple-minded people will call it, Mother Nature. They refuse to give the Heavenly Father his credit. And that's why those people are going to continue to be visited by the Lord. Because the Lord is going to force these people to acknowledge him. Psalms 83:14. As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Verse 15, so persecute them with thy tempest and make them afraid with thy storm. And that's what the Lord has been doing all over the world, sending monsoons and typhoons and hurricanes and tornadoes and lightning storms and hailstorms and torrential rainstorms, just bringing nonstop judgments upon these wicked kingdoms and upon these wicked people. Psalms 9:16. The Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Selah. Yeah, so these destructive, deadly, powerful storms and tempests are the judgments of the Heavenly Father. There is no getting around that. And these judgments are only going to get worse because we are in the last days. 2 Timothy 3:1, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And when you look up the definition of perilous, it means full of danger or risk. And with the frequency of these storms and tempests and these earthquakes and these fires and the protests and the riots and the wars and the rumors of wars and the division amongst the people and the love of many waxing cold and all other types of judgments that are taking place, it's safe to say that we are in the last days and that we are in some increasingly perilous times. Those of us of the hopeful elect, however, we just have to continue to fear the Lord. Fear the Lord and rehearse the righteous acts daily and follow the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability and stay prayed up and stay circumspect. Just stay locked in because things are only going to get worse all over the world. There's going to be a lot more destruction and a lot more death that's going to take place. Luke 21:36. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. And that's exactly what those of us of the hopeful elect are doing. We're watching. We're staying as locked in and as up to date on the events that are taking place, not only where we live, but everywhere else in the world. And we're praying and hoping that the Lord accounts us worthy to escape. We're praying that the Lord has chosen us from the foundation of the world to endure unto the end and be saved, not to be destroyed. Because that's the fate of most people. Most of these people are wicked in the eyes of the Lord, and they're going to be destroyed. Those of us of the hopeful elect who are, in this faith and we're enduring, we don't want to die. We want to be delivered onto a chariot. We want the Heavenly Father, through His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, to keep their hedge of protection over us and to keep the angels encamped around about us who do fear them. Because those of us of the hopeful elect, we acknowledge that these things that are taking place throughout the world, all of these judgments, are the work of the Heavenly Father. We're not denying that. We're not calling it anything else. We're not saying, oh, it's climate change, it's global warming, it's Mother Nature, it's, all of that other nonsense that people say. We're giving the credit to who it rightfully belongs to, which is the Heavenly Father. And all these wicked people who scoff and scorn and say that, God isn't real and that, it's all a fairy tale and it's all make believe, those people are about to eat their words. The Lord is going to show them that He very much does exist. And then He's going to wipe these wicked people out. Because at the end of the day, everybody has to reap what they sow. And everybody has to pay for the things that they've said, whether they were righteous words or wicked words. And majority of people are out here just being wicked, man. So they gotta reap what they've sown. They gotta be punished for the things that they've done, and they gotta be punished for the things that they've said. And some of those punishments will come in the form of storms and tempests. So with that, I'm gonna wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, for putting His Spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith and shalom toward the sincere believers. I hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratazah. Until next time, shalom.